This is Texans TV.
We're going big on the D-line. Former Texan Travis Johnson is the guest. Current Texan Ross Blacklock gets a trip home. And we're looking at some of the biggest draft prospects at that position next on Texans 360.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Rock and roll.
You already know what time it is, man.
Touchdown, Texans.
I got cleats for all y'all.
He's in. Rock and roll.
That's when you think you've seen it all. There's always something else.
Let's go. They go home. They go home.
This is Texans 360, and it's the F-word edition of the show. And before you go too far in one direction, it's actually fun. That's the word we use to describe this one because Travis F. Johnson joins us, and the defensive lineman always brings the fun when you're with us.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I'm excited to talk about the draft, talk about everything that you guys are doing here today. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. It's actually Travis Andre Johnson, but, you know, this guy's fun. Later on, we're gonna go to TSU for a turf dedication. We're also going to do a stock report, and we're going home with Ross Blacklock. But like Travis said, the draft is the news of the week, and General Manager Nick Caserio met with the media earlier this week. He talked all about the 3rd overall pick and the 13th overall pick. Whether or not the Texans stay there remains to be seen, but nevertheless, lots and lots of options.
Oh, it's a lot of options, man. I'm excited for what we can do. I really see us still picking at 3 and at 13 because I think there's a lot of needs that this team has, and I think we can really fill it in this draft. But as far as wide receivers, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, there are guys throughout the draft that are phenomenal that can fill a lot of holes that we have and fill a lot of needs that we have.
And we're going to hear about some of your favorites in just a little bit. But first, Nick Caserio, like we mentioned, met with the media, but he also huddled up on Texans radio.
First of all, welcome in. We were just saying this has never happened where you have the general manager answer questions live from fans. So
happy to do it.
We are
absolutely good to be here. Good to be here.
I can't possibly imagine what fans might be wanting to ask, but let's get into some of the questions.
All right. This one comes from Kevin. Nick, what'd you learn from last year's draft?
I think regardless of how many picks you may or may not have, it's just try to capitalize and just make good decisions, for the organization. And, I think we tried to do that to the best of our ability. I think what's important when you're drafting players is just not to have unreasonable expectations. Try to simplify it for the player. They have enough to learn, and they have enough on their shoulders when they walk in the building. So just try to make sure that we're identifying the things that are important for us, the type of people that we want to have in the building, and just maximize our opportunities. And really, ultimately, when they come in the building, it's sort of out of our hands to a degree. It's up to the player, it's up to the staff. And I would say really a credit to the coaches last season and to the players, because I think you saw growth and development from the beginning until the end of the season, really on all 5 players. And I think they were able to capitalize on the opportunities they had in front of them. So, hopefully we can have some modicum of success here next week as well. And just continually build and continually press forward.
All right, let's get to another fan question. This from Dominic and Ailey from over in my hood. What do you think about our running back room?
Yeah, it's an interesting combination, I would say, of kind of youth and experience. Other than really Rex, in terms of players that really made a contribution last season, a lot of those players didn't really have too many snaps, at least for the Houston Texans. So, Scotty, unfortunately, was limited last year. Was injured, but, he's shown some things in the preseason. Marlon's been a productive player at different points, so he has an opportunity here in front of him. Dare's been, I'd say, a pretty consistent player in Jacksonville. He's had a good role in the kicking game. Royce, had small opportunities, limited opportunities last year, but, there's really not a whole dearth of opportunities. But I would say it's a group that they all have varying degrees of experience playing. And even Jed Anderson, who kind of came to us late in the offseason, during the season last year in the practice squad, he's made a lot of progress, I'd say, in terms of his strength and development from January till now. So it's an interesting group. I think once we get on the field a little bit, we'll start to crystallize a little bit more. So, if there's an opportunity for us to add to that group, we will. If there's not, I think we'd be able to go out there and be able to function with the group that we have here in the building.
All right, Maria wants to know, what excites you about a Pep Hamilton offense?
Yeah, I think Pep's had a lot of success through the years, being able to run the football and being able to get the quarterbacks to play well. But Pep's a good coach. He's a lot of experience. He's had a lot of, I would say, good experiences with the quarterback position. He really teaches that position, the details and mechanics of it. Now to be able to project that over the entire group. But I think, we want to be able to run the football. We want to be able to play physical. So I think those are some things that we're going to try to emphasize. And it's a collective effort. It's not going to be just about the offensive line. It's not going to be about the tight ends and running backs. It's all everybody's going to be involved, even the receiver to some degree. So the one thing you notice is just the way he works with the staff. It's really kind of cool. I mean, it's a very collaborative effort. He respects the coaches. A lot of those coaches have worked with him. He trusts them. They trust him in turn. So that carries a lot of weight. And then, when you transfer that to the players see that. So ultimately, it's about results. And offense is being able to move football and score points. So, I mean, ultimately, that's going to be the most important thing for us.
Nick Caserio, General Manager for the Houston Texans. Nick, thank you so much for the time, and we really look forward to seeing what unfolds next week.
Thanks for having me. Excited about next week, and go Texans.
Good to hear from the GM. Travis, you're a very proud Florida State Seminole. There's a really intriguing prospect who's a Seminole. Jermaine Johnson II. He's been mocked to the Texans at 13th overall in a lot of mock drafts, but you say he could go even higher, couldn't you?
Oh, I really believe he could possibly be our third pick. Jermaine Johnson has a lot of upside, in my opinion, and still can get better when you talk about what this defense is going to become here in Houston.
Lovie Smith has said, the defensive line, it's the engine of his defense. So with that in mind, in addition to Jermaine Johnson, who else do you really like there as prospects here for the Texans?
Well, for me, I mean, I like Jermaine Johnson. Of course, I like Trayvon Walker. I'm going to tell you another one is Ojagba, David Ojagba from Michigan. I think, but I'm going to tell you, if we can get David Ojagba from Michigan, number 55, we can get him later on in the draft. If we can get Trayvon or Jermaine Johnson, well, I'd rather take Jermaine with pick 3. I think it'd be awesome for us. And I think we take O-line or we take safety or we take one of those at 13.
I got you. Okay, well, if the Texans were to take Ojabo, I know at least 3 or 4 Scottish Texans fans who would be ecstatic. He spent some time over there before coming to America, so that would be pretty cool. You bring up some of those other prospects, and we're going to get into a little bit more of that as this show and the rest of the week develops. But first, we got to take a break. After that break, we're coming back. We're going to have some fun with another defensive lineman for the Texans, Ross Blacklock. We're going home. Don't move a muscle. We're back. Texans 360 continues. We got Travis Johnson, defensive lineman for the Texans from days gone by. And let's talk about a defensive lineman currently for Houston, Ross Blacklock. He's heading into year 3. Could be a pivotal season for him. You like what you've seen. What do you see the future holding for him?
Well, I think, it's all going to depend on what we also draft here.
Yeah.
I think Ross Blacklock, his maturation process over the first 2 years has been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of one of those things where now it's time for him to take that step to be the upper echelon. Yeah, we don't need him to be Aaron Donald, but we need him to be that tier right below him and put up those numbers and really set a new line of scrimmage. I'm excited to see what he brings when you let some of these guys off the leash. There's no more two-gapping. It's more, let's get off the field, let's scratch and itch off the ball.
He's from just down the road in Missouri City, and we went home with him recently. Check this out.
With the 40th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select
4-star Army All-American defensive tackle, Ross Blacklock.
All right, Ross, you've been waiting for this day a long time. How's it feel?
Hey, Ross, congratulations. What was it like at your home with your family when you guys got the news?
Growing up in Houston and Missouri City, did you have a favorite Texans moment?
What was it like to get to come to your hometown team?
I'm beyond excited to be able to come back home and play for my hometown. And, just to be able to do good things for the city and play great football.
How y'all doing? Good. My name is Ross Blacklock, play for the Houston Texans, number 90 defensive tackle. I'm happy to be out here with y'all. Keep doing y'all thing. Stay in school. Everything that y'all doing right now is preparation of what you're gonna do when you're my age and when you're older than that.
For Texans defensive lineman Ross Blacklock, Texas is home. Born in Missouri City, just 15 miles from Houston, the Texans' 2020 second-round pick began his career in the same place he played Little League. On this evening, Ross gave back to the Youth League, where his football journey began.
I got cleats for all y'all.
This is where it really started. This is where it all began. We lived sports for years, every month, every day, every weekend. We were always someplace doing something, one or the other, or coming back from one, heading to another sport. So
it just feels good to come back out here and just support, see where it all started. And, just being out here, being able to be an impact to somebody else is just the ultimate blessing that you could possibly have on somebody. You gotta try them on, man. You gotta let me know how they feel when you play.
I'm so proud of the fact that he's living his dream. I've always taught him, you give back, you don't keep. It doesn't belong to you because it didn't belong to the person who actually gave it to you because they gave it to you. So he's got a big heart, he's always giving.
What you think you got, man? Merry Christmas. What position you play?
Linebacker.
Okay, well this on cleat is worth 10 picks.
Before his philanthropic nature kicked in as a professional ball player, Ross was a young student athlete full of hopes and dreams at Elkins High School. Suffice to say, he had a long way to go.
Yep. There, look. Now look at him and look at me. Got the hair, afro, all that, dog. I was a little big bone. Yeah, I was a little big bone. It's okay. Man, this is crazy. Time flies, dog.
Ross's coaches saw an athlete with tons of potential, but needing a little something extra.
The evolution of Ross is the fact that he learned how to work, and it took a while. He always had a great attitude. He always was happy-go-lucky, but the work ethics wasn't there. He didn't put in the work. When we run our conditioning tests, he's always one of the last ones starting off. But each year he got better and better because he understood that, if I really want to reach that level that I say I want to reach, I got to start putting the work in. And he started putting that extra work in. His junior year, by the time he hit his senior year, he was there. Junior year playing football, let me see. First, I like this picture right here. Ross, nothing malicious, he's just like he just big kid.
Big kid. I really just didn't know how strong I was, man. I never did.
Early in his high school years, Ross flashed the work ethic that would be the hallmark of his high school career.
This field made me a man, dog. This field and that backfield, all types of drills and stuff set up, but man, yeah, we got it in over there, dog.
We challenge them to see whether or not they really want to play football. And that's where I try to make them quit. Mm-hmm. So you really want to play football. So when they got to that field right there, like again, either you practice or you're doing up downs, and or bear crawls, or froggies or something.
With the help of many at Elkins, Ross started showing signs of his maximum potential on the ball field. Years of hard work and commitment paid off when Ross was named a high school All-American during his senior season.
Just being able to call myself All-American in high school, not a lot of kids can say that. If anybody, this man knows where I was my freshman year, how hard I worked just to get there. I just kept God first and just did the work and just didn't care what anybody had to say. I realized I had a certain talent. I couldn't let it go to waste. So, the potential's high for anybody. You just got to reach that ceiling.
Visiting with four-star Army All-American defensive tackle Ross Blacklock. Ross, how have you seen your game develop over the past year? You went pretty much from an unknown to now one of the top defensive tackles in the country.
It's a real blessing. I worked real hard in the spring. I talked to my coaches. I just got on the ball. I wanted to be the best. So
nobody walks in the door being All-American. You're going to have to put some work in to be all anything. What it is to serve as a motivation for the other kids is that you don't have to be perfect right now. You don't have to be that 4- or 5-star athlete right now. If you trust the process, let yourself develop physically, mentally, and emotionally, as well as put the work in, I say it can happen. And all I do is point to guys like Ross and just say, hey, that could be you. But you have to make a choice. You have to make a decision. What do you want to be? How much work you want to put in? Because it's not going to happen on his own. You're going to have to do some sacrifices.
As a high school All-American, Ross had plenty of options after graduating from Elkins, but purple spoke to him. TCU purple.
You've been waiting for this day a long time. How's it feel to be here with your teammates and wear the purple, knowing that you're headed to TCU?
It's funny, I didn't know I was going to go to TCU till the day before I committed on TV. I had a voice in my head. I heard all night, just TCU, just whispering. And that morning I called my mom. I said, I don't know why I'm picking this school. She was like, it's just a voice in your head that's guiding you to where you need to go and where you need to be. Always listen to that voice. It's never going to steer you wrong. So I got on that stage. I remember what she told me. And it was the best decision of my life.
Thompson. Pressured and Thompson gets sacked. Ross Blacklock there for the sack.
After his dominant career at TCU, Ross entered the 2020 NFL Draft. With NFL dreams on the horizon, he waited for his name to be called. His story would come full circle in the second round when his hometown team drafted him.
Not a lot of guys can go back home and say, yeah, I played for my hometown team. I grew up a Texans fan my whole life. Never, ever thought
I will be able to be a Texan, but each and every day I wake up, thank God that I'm here.
Houston to his core, Ross is living his dream in front of the community that raised him.
Texans trying to get home to the quarterback, and Ross Blacklock strips the ball out.
If there's one thing for certain, Ross will never forget his Houston roots.
What's up? Howdy. Hey, what's up? Good to see you.
You lost that baby fat? Come on.
Right? How they slimmed up. What's up, big dog? How you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Damn, you ain't got bigger, bro.
When he got drafted, that's the first time I watched the draft from the beginning to the end, especially when he went to the Texans. Our kids were just fired up because here's a kid that was drafted by the Texans, playing at their hometown professional team, and it's just instant motivation. It's really good for the Texan organization as well as not just Elkins, but every kid in this area to see that a kid from your hometown can actually make it to the highest level.
Houston's everything. Houston is home, Houston's family. It means the world to me just to be able to come back and play. Obviously for my team, my city, it means so much more to me than football. Houston is my heartbeat. Houston will always be with me no matter where I'm at. I love the city. The city's done good by me, and I always want to do good by it.
After the break, John Harris hits us with a stock report. Buy low, sell high. Go, go, go. Texans 360 rolls on. Texans 360 continues. Drew Dougherty, Travis Johnson of Florida State, a blue chip, big-time college football program. But who are some of your all-time favorites that came out of smaller colleges?
Oh, for one, I got to go with T.O. first. I got to go with Jerry Rice. I got to go with Sweetness.
Okay.
I got to go with Johnny Randall. And then one of my secret favorites is Nate Washington. Those guys that come out of small programs, black college programs. Yeah, we hadn't seen it as much because of the integration of college football, but I think we start to see a lot more now because the NFL finds you wherever you are in today's game.
Yes, they do. And so does John Harris, who has this final version of the stock report.
Yeah, Doc, I mean, seriously, I've done everything I can. I try and keep things under control, and I start talking about these prospects, and I get so agitated. I just no. No. Well, no. Why would I do?
Doc, forget it. I'm doing it my way. My way. Here we go. Stock report with me, John Harris. Let's go. Group of 5 players, and we're starting with the strongest arm in the draft, Malik Willis. He's got a right arm that can throw a ball through 10 walls, and all of them concrete. This guy's got an absolute cannon, 6'1", 215. Don't be misled. He can make plays out of the pocket. He's going to spin. He's going to shuck and jive. He's going to straight arm guys. He's going to pie face the linebacker and put it in the end zone. And oh, by the way, he can throw it about 75 yards in the air. Like I said, the strongest right arm. This side of the Pecos, Malik Willis from Liberty, maybe the hottest name in the NFL draft. I love hearing about him. And oh, by the way, if we're talking group of 5 or lower divisions, let's talk about Christian Watson from out of North Dakota State. Number 1 from Tampa, Florida. Now, I want you to do some geography with me. Tampa's like down here, and North Dakota State is up there. So how does this guy get from here to there and turn into one of the top receivers in this NFL draft? I don't know. I failed geography, but I know this. I didn't fail Christian Watson, and he won't fail you. 6'4", 205, getting in the 4.3 range, catches everything. He was Trey Lance's deep guy at North Dakota State. They won rings. The Bison, Christian Watson. And finally, now, I have to tell you about Zion Mccullum from Sam Houston State. From Galveston Ball High School, he and his twin brother, Tristan McCollum, instrumental in 21 straight wins in the year of 2021. That's right! They played 22 ball games in the calendar year 2021, and Zion Mccullum at corner played in every single one. An All-American, 4.33 and a 40 at 6'1", 200 pounds. Guess what? That's fast. He's smart. He's athletic. He's physical. He's a playmaker. He played half a season with a cast on his hand. He's still picking the ball off. He's a Bearcat for life, and you should be as well. Or, well, whatever alma mater you have.
but Zion McCullum, Christian Watson, and Malik Willis. That's your stock report, because we're going up, up, up.
With me, John Harris.
Some guys give you the shirts off their backs. The Texans give you the turf beneath their toes. We'll explain on Texans 360. This is Texans 360. Drew Dougherty, Travis Johnson. Hey, one of the fun things about being a Houston Texans football player, former player, you guys have always been involved in the community, haven't you? It's been really, really cool.
Oh, it's been a cool experience. I mean, when I got here, there were certain guys that were always in the community, and I just kind of joined in. And you know, Andre with his 80 seconds with Andre thing at Target with Officer Mary, who is now the
Chief of Police over at TSU.
At TSU, she does a shop with a cop shop with a job, and it always was just a fun time here in this city, man. And I enjoy doing all the charity stuff with everybody.
Yeah, I like that you brought up TSU, because recently the Texans donated something to TSU, and we have a little bit more on that.
And so today is an outstanding opportunity for us, because we get an opportunity to celebrate the beginning of a partnership with the Texans.
I want to say thank you. Everything I have in life, I can owe to my education. You know, someone taking a chance on giving me an opportunity. And that's exactly what we're getting here at Texas Southern. You know, our leaders of tomorrow are really right here. So we appreciate this opportunity, of course, that you're giving so many students.
The partnership includes improving athletic facilities, funding scholarship opportunities for female student athletes, and enhancing engagement with students, faculty, and staff.
Really cool stuff there. Hey, it's always good having you on the show. We love seeing you. I know you're amped up for the draft this week.
Oh, I am. One, it's my birthday, which my birthday
Happy
always
birthday.
falls around the draft. Appreciate it. I'm glad I remembered it, concussions.
What are you, 29 or?
No, I'll be 40, man.
40?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You want to try me? Try me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
With apologies to Mike Gundy, we appreciate you watching this Texans 360. Hope you have a fun weekend, and we will see you again very, very soon. So long. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.